History in the making this morning as Hurricane Katrina is making landfall on the coast of Louisiana.
And Dr. Steve Lyons, our hurricane expert, is on board now to talk about its impacts this morning. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Kim, and we're looking at a landfall in southeastern Louisiana. Almost, not quite. The eye wall is over extreme southeastern Louisiana near Port Sulphur and Venice. The eye is still just offshore right there. You see it. It's going to come onshore within about 15 or 20 minutes, maybe a half hour or so. Now here's New Orleans here. We expect the eye to move to the east of New Orleans. The closest approach to the northwestern portion of the eye wall will be about 3 hours from now. This is about 60 miles. The northern eye wall here is about 45 miles from New Orleans, and it's moving at 15 miles per hour. So about 3 hours you're going to get your worst conditions, and the strongest winds will probably be in southeastern Louisiana. You're going to be closest to the eye wall there. That's the time when the surge potential is probably going to be the highest as well, and when your winds are going to be the best and the strongest, and the damage is going to be the greatest. Now, the system is going to move continually to the north. In about 4 to 6 hours is going to be the worst conditions up in Mississippi, and that's when these eastern portion of the eye wall is going to come slamming into the coastline. Now right now we have some conditions along the coast that indicate that the surge is already 8 feet at Waveland, Mississippi. That's the highest report we have right now, a surge of 8 feet, and it's nowhere near the eye wall, so we expect that to really increase as that comes up over the next 3 to 5 hours. So don't stay in the low-lying areas very long. If you're already down there, you know it's very bad. Now we have a storm total precipitation you can see here already exceeding 6 inches in southeastern Louisiana, and so we're going to expect that to encroach on New Orleans, and the potential for flooding along the coastline and inland is going to increase the next 2 to 3 hours. We could see street flooding in New Orleans. The pumps are probably running to try to keep that water off the streets, but the water's going to rise because the rainfall rates are probably 2 to 3 inches per hour there. Notice also there's a rather wide swath of rain over Florida and heading into Georgia, so the overall larger circulation is producing rain well away from the center, the core of circulation. Now here's our projected water rises associated with the surge. We've already seen 8 feet there, and it's nowhere near the eye wall. 16 to 22 feet locally where that eye wall comes onshore, and it looks like it may be that coastal Mississippi may get the worst surge of all because the eye is going to be to the east of New Orleans. We'll have to see if any of that water tops the levee system. It's too early to tell that yet, but the center of circulation will move to the east of downtown New Orleans. In the meantime, surge will spread off to the east a little bit as well because the circulation is large. Then over here we have large waves that have been producing 2 to 3 foot water rises along the coast as well. So that's going to continue, and that will rise as the system makes landfall and the southerly winds come in. The wave action will come up to 25 to 35 feet along the extreme eastern portions of the Florida Panhandle, western portions of Florida Panhandle, eastern portions of the Alabama coastline, and a little bit lower, a little bit farther to the east in the Panhandle. So these are the highest waves out here. These waves are breaking well offshore here. These are going to be on the beach and causing significant beach erosion the next 12 hours. Now as the system moves inland, the greatest impact for direct impact to structures, trees falling down, power out, lines falling down, roofs blowing off of buildings, is going to be in this red area here that includes southeastern Louisiana primarily, including the New Orleans area, and that's primarily southeastern portions of New Orleans. Gulfport, Biloxi is also in that, and of course down here in extreme southern Louisiana, they're going to get probably the worst condition of all. As the system moves to the north, it may weaken slightly, but it's still a very strong Category 4 hurricane, and those strong winds are going to spread inland over the next 24 hours. We could have some significant direct structure damage well inland into Louisiana, Mississippi, and portions of Alabama as well. Power outages, we've already seen a large number of those power outages. Those are going to extend inland, and those outages are going to be severe. You're not going to get your power outages back very quickly. So hunker down, the worst is yet to come. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Dr. Steve Lyons, our hurricane expert.
We continue our coverage of Hurricane Katrina with hurricane force wind gusts now into southern Louisiana.
This program was brought to you by the UPS Store, the place for help and a whole lot more.